Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon or good evening depending on when and where you're watching this, and welcome or welcome back to the GrianaigCreations podcast channel. My name is Kirsty, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm coming to you from, well, a very overcast Paisley in Scotland. At one point I looked out the window and I just knew we were about to get rain at any second, and as I originally sat down to start recording, I just heard this noise and I was just like, what's that? And I looked outside and oh, it was chucking it down, absolutely plummeting it down. So the rain seems to have stopped for now, and my washing machine has stopped as well, so the noise factor has dramatically decreased. So we are going to start recording. Obviously, like, you're watching this. I've got a couple of projects to show off, probably not as much as I would have liked given the length of time since my last podcast. My brain has not been my friend recently, and has just wanted to like doom scroll for hours on end and not actually be any sort of way productive. So it is what it is. I'm going to split it up and do knitting and then crochet. And I definitely think I'm more crochet heavy this time around, which is awesome. But yeah, for anyone new to the channel, this is a crafting podcast and we cover things such as knitting, crochet, very rarely but sometimes cross stitch, and there is the occasional spinning as well. And at some point I might get back to weaving because I dug out my loom recently and I'm on the fence as to whether I'm going to sell it. And then I have I inherited somebody's lace making supplies and I'd love to get that started. And then just last 2 weeks ago, I actually attended a class where I learned a completely new skill that I will show later on because I forgot to bring it over here and it's plugged in. So my mood today is kind of up and down. It started really awesome and then someone came in and just decided to be a pain in my butt. So I am trying not to let that bother me and we're just going to continue. But after I record, I'm going to get some lunch. I have a salad in the fridge waiting for me, or potato skins. Not really sure what I'll have, potato skins or salad. I'd say both, but my appetite has just not been what it used to be, which is a good thing. It is a good thing, it's not something to worry about. So yeah. Let's get started. Ooh, yarn avalanche. Alright, let's remove those knit needles before I lose them. Okay, so first finished object comes with a bit of a story. Scott started a new job about nearly 2 months ago, and on the first day they sent him home with his laptop, and they did provide a backpack for the laptop, but with everything else Scott carries to go into the city centre, with his, like, he gets the train up and then he's normally early, so he always carries a book with him. He carries his like migraine medication just in case, his glasses, pens, papers, notepad, waterproofs because we live in Scotland, it rains a lot here, and there's probably some other stuff, like he carries his lunch and stuff on him as well. So the bag that they gave wasn't big enough for the laptop and everything else. So when he went back to his old backpack, he gave me the fear. So he was just kind of like, it wasn't like rough manhandling this laptop or like roughing it up or whatever, but I was just like, that is going to get scratched big time. So I decided to cast on and make him a laptop sleeve. So the ends have still to be woven in, as you can see, but the laptop sleeve is done. I done some color work because he loves Batman. As you can see here, like you can see the yellow coming through every now and again, but otherwise I am really pleased with it. I think that's such a good attempt. I was working with acrylic yarn just because that's what I had to hand, and also it's just gonna be a laptop sleeve that's just getting chucked in and out of a bag every day, so I didn't want to use good yarn. So yeah, once I get the ends woven in on this, which will be today, this will be going to Scott to actually use. I was considering putting buttons in on the flap, but then I was just like, that's more work. Honestly, that was my reasoning. That's more work. So I didn't. It's just a flap. It will cover and protect what it needs to. So yeah, that is the first finished object. The other finished object's crochet one, so you'll see that later. So yeah, not much to say about it. I found the chart on Pinterest, and then the yarn, I know for definite that the black is Stylecraft Special DK, and I reckon the yellow is also Stylecraft Special DK, because that's just what I gravitate towards when I have purchased acrylic, because I'm normally buying acrylic for amigurumi, and I personally think that's one of the best ones for amigurumi. So I normally have a surplus of it sitting in the house. So I reckon they're both Stylecraft, but the black definitely is Stylecraft. I cast on like 2 or 3 times to try and get the width correct, and even at that I think you can just see that actually I ended up increasing for the width of the laptop because I got it wrong, and I was sick of casting it on like every single time. So I just increased up to when it would fit and just went from there. So yeah, I'll get those ends woven in after this is recorded, and then Scott can actually use this today, well, tomorrow, since it's already 1:30. I'm surprised I saw that because I don't have my glasses on. Okay, so next knitting project, I'll just show this off because it's in my hands, is a pair of socks from my mum. You don't need to look away, mum, it's okay if you see these ones. But I've got, actually, I think you've seen me knit these in front of you, so you can definitely look at these ones. So first one is done. I actually really like this yarn. It's a Woolcraft Superwash sock yarn. It says here Woolcraft at Clifford Street Mills in Bradford, so it is UK. I don't know if it's spun in the UK, but it's definitely like for a company based out of Bradford in the UK. It's 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, which is kind of like your standard. I think I bought this, actually I don't know where I bought this from because it definitely wasn't in the Barras in Glasgow. But yeah, so sock 1 is done, and I am now just working on the foot of sock 2. I used to keep these sock projects on my desk at work, so that if I ever was trying to like slow down my workload, or I was on a meeting, or I had system issues, I would work on the sock. But I've recently swapped my projects on my desk, and so this sock isn't getting as much attention as it should, and this now just sits in my handbag, and it will get work on it if we're in a slightly longer car journey, or if we are going to like a coffee shop or something. So it doesn't get as much work, unfortunately. Also, I don't know if it's just my hands at the moment, but 9-inch circulars, which is how I normally knit my socks, is just not, I don't know. So the way I hold mine, I don't know if you can see that I tuck one finger, just one, I tuck that behind for space. So you can see here, like 3 in front, 1 behind. And then I would do the same, but a different finger goes to the back. And that is how I would knit on my 9-inch circulars. And I don't know if it's just because I haven't worked on these in a while. Like I had built up like maybe a bit of a callus, or just I'd strengthened that part of that finger, because that's where at that point it's half metal, half cable. And I don't know if it's just because I haven't been working consistently on socks recently, but it hurts. It really hurts on that part of my finger. And I can't train myself to hold it that way, where all 4 fingers, because it feels so unnatural, and I don't know how to hold it because it's so weird for me to have my hands, like I can clearly knit, but it doesn't feel right. It feels very unnatural, and it makes me kind of stutter with my hands, like how do I do this? So yeah, they've just not been getting as much love as they could have, but the project that has been receiving love in its place, because I swapped my projects on my desk, is my blanket. So where did you last see it? You last saw it on this row here. Okay, we've got a whole extra row all done. So you last saw it actually with this square here. That was the last one you saw. And I have now finished that whole row. So my blanket is 13 squares long, or wide. Oh, it looks really good on camera. And currently we've moved that. We're on the 6th square high. Is it 13? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 13. I was right. I was doubting myself there. There we go. That fits in. So yeah, I decided that this was going to get a lot of love, and it's been specifically made to just be like a wee 1-person lap blanket for now. Like, it actually, if I tilt you, so it's wide enough, like it hangs over. It's just going to be like a wee me blanket. Eventually there might be a 14th row put over, because I tend to sit cross-legged all the time, and with that it just goes over my knees and down. There's no tucking in, unfortunately. So I reckon a 14th square would be beneficial for when I am sitting cross-legged, just to make sure I can tuck it in and keep everything nice and cozy. But yeah, so after we spoke about this last time, I decided that this blanket really needed some love. It really needed to get worked on instead of just sitting there all the time. And I ended up realizing that what great opportunity that I have is I don't work Mondays anymore. I reduced my hours and my days, so I'm only reduced by 3 hours because I've made my actual working days longer. So instead of working 10 until 6, I now work 9 until 6. So I've kind of shifted hours into other working days, and so I'm only actually reduced down by 3 hours a week. And I get a whole Monday off, which is lovely. Hence why I'm recording today. So yes, Mondays became the designated work on blanket day. And it would only be one square that I was aiming for. And I thought that was really, really achievable. If I can sit down and take 1 hour, because that's what it used to take me. It might take me a little bit more because I'm still having some concentration issues. If I can sit down and put 1 hour into this blanket, which is 1 square, then by doing that once a week, that's 52 extra squares that I was not putting on this blanket the last probably year, to be honest. I don't know when the last time I actually really worked on this blanket. So yeah, I made that decision. Well, my last podcast was like 40 days ago, and then I think I made the decision maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe 4 weeks ago I made the decision that every Monday I'd put 1 square on. And my markers with the little sheepies in jumpers marks every Monday. You'll only find 3 sheep on this because there was a Monday I forgot. There was a whole week I didn't do anything. Oh no, there's 4. So I haven't done today's. Okay, 5 weeks ago, because there was 1 week I didn't do anything. So 5 weeks ago I made this decision. And in that first week, I got 6 squares done. So this blue one to this kind of bluey grey one here. So I got 6 squares done in that first week. To be fair, that was the week there was that massive global outage in IT. I was affected by that. But yeah, I was still expected to constantly try and get logged in. Which was an absolute shambles. So yeah, I got a lot of work done that day. So 6 squares done in the first week. And then the next week, I only got 3 done. But considering I'm really only meant to do that 1 a day, that 1 a Monday, 1 every Monday, 3 is pretty good for 1 week. And then I got 3 done the next week. I don't know if it was between week 2 and 3 or between week 3 and 4 that I missed out. And then last week, I only got 2 done. Yeah, this week was an interesting one in work because I was doing a lot more admin work than my actual job. And I really enjoyed doing that admin work. There's just something about like pulling numbers and analysing it and getting like figuring out the story of what's happened from the numbers. So I really enjoyed work this week. So I was not working on this during work hours. So today I will put on my Monday square, and if I get more done, awesome. If I don't, like today, that's absolutely fine. This will all get put back into my yarn bowl, which is full of yarn currently. I'm just covering it so it doesn't all fall out. And it will get put back on my desk. And what I tend to do is just before I start work, I cast on the square. And that way it's then ready to either get a couple of stitches or one right side done, and then if I'm really lucky I'll get a right side and a wrong side done before I put it back down. But yeah, that's just the way I have it working out. I try to I like to have my setup ready before 9 AM. Obviously I don't have to, as long as I'm attempting to get logged on for 9 AM, that's the thing. But if I can have it all logged on and ready to go for 9, that's great. So I tend to go up about either 1:45 or like between then and 9 o'clock to go get everything turned on, logged on. And so that's the perfect time to just cast on the next square. Do I have any other knitting? I really should have looked through everything before. Oh, why did I not do this before? Oh. No, that's not crochet. Okay. I've just messed everything up. You can't even see that. And I was just like, I've already messed up. So yeah, that is all the knitting I've done since the last podcast. We'll go straight into crochet, and I finished that little crochet square. Oh man, did I miss a row? No, I missed an end. I wove in all the ends on those blankets, and then I find that I've missed one. So this was the blanket I was showing off, and I got it finished. At some point though, I done something funky with this blanket, and can I find it for the life of me now? So what I was doing with this blanket is, where's the start row or the start? One moment, please. Where is it? It's normally really obvious to find your chain. No, not those ones. Ha, there it is. Alright, where's my funky row? Found it. So, when working this blanket, I was going round one row, joining at the beginning of the row, and then putting a chain and working that row, and then slip stitch to join, chain, work your round, so on and so forth. And then at some point, whilst watching Scott gaming, or we were watching something on YouTube, I realised that I hadn't joined my row for quite some time. At no point had I done my slip stitch to join, done my chain, and then started a round again. And I realised that that had been going on for at least 2 hours, probably, that I hadn't joined. And that's when I looked and I found it, and I was just like, I just kept on going. I don't know why, I don't know how, I just kept working in that square. And what you might be able to see is right here. This is where I did not slip stitch to join, and I just kept on going. So I should have slip stitched here, then done a chain 3, and then kept going in the standard pattern, but I did not do it. And so that's all the way here, and I didn't realise until I was all the way up in this kind of peachy pinky colour. And I could have ripped it back, could have, quite clearly didn't, because as you saw, it took me quite a while to find that. So I do not expect whoever the recipient of this is to be able to find it. And talking of who the recipient of this is, I've got no idea, because I recently found out that hospitals don't normally accept crochet for babies because their tiny little toes and fingers can get all woven through it and stuck. So this could go to the CAT Centre or the SSPCA, not specifically the CAT Centre, to see if they would accept it for any of their animals. So yeah, we'll find a recipient for it soon. They're all kind of more of like classes like feminine colours, so I don't know anyone currently that's actually, I don't know which of my friends are pregnant and which aren't currently. I have been a hermit big time recently and have removed myself from the world in a non-serious way, of course. So yeah, that is my only finished crochet project. No, that's a lie, that's a lie. I finished the project you all saw me making well, if you watched it, I attempted my first attempt at overlay mosaic crochet. And I'm really freaking proud of this. So this is a pattern by Get Your Hook On. Oh no, I'm rolling up. A pattern by Get Your Hook On, which is Abby, and she is based in Scotland as well. Stop rolling. I still haven't blocked it. This got kind of tucked away behind the sofa and forgotten about. So this was my very first attempt. I am really pleased with it, and I really want to work on other projects. I don't have anything else small in mind, apart from there's a designer called Sixel Designs, Sixel, and their stuff is just right up my alley. There's one that is like a death moth in a square, but it's worked from the center out, and that one looks amazing. And she's got some other fantastic designs as well, but I want to start with smaller ones first before I work up to some of the blankets, because I actually have a Get Your Hook On blanket pattern in my library. I purchased that in her sale that she was kindly having, and I will work my way up to that. For now, I thought this was a really great start. It helped me get to the basics under my thumb, and I thoroughly enjoyed making this. But for the first few days, like, I could only work on it in silence. Actually, for the entire project, I could only work on it in silence. So we couldn't have anything on the TV that I was watching. If Scott was watching something, he had to have headphones on, like that kind of thing. So I have started a second one, exact same pattern, and it's going to be my sister's, and I've just done it in reversed colours. So instead of the black as the background, the pink is the background, and I haven't touched this in probably 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. I haven't touched this because I then became obsessed with another project. So that one is Memento Mori. And I was using the US terminology because that's how I learned crochet. And my yarn for this project is Wendy with wool DK and then Wendy Supreme wool, because I thought I'd picked up 2 Wendy with wool when it turns out I hadn't. And the one without the wool, weirdly, more expensive than the one with the wool. Go figure that one out, Hobbycraft. But yeah, I just decided one day, so this is a free pattern by Abby. And when I bought her blanket pattern, I was just like, oh, this would be a fantastic pattern to try out. And then I took myself off shopping, picked up some yarn from Hobbycraft because I was in the area, it was there. Probably wouldn't buy it from Hobbycraft again. I would just go to my LYS and buy it from them. But it is what it is. And I will get round to finishing that second one soon enough. But for now, there are other projects that have my attention, or some of my attention. My attention and my concentration right now, not good. You like my big cup? It is not a Stanley. This is a Primark knockoff, or Primark, depending on how you say it. I'd rather pay £8 for this than 45 for a Stanley. Okay, so My slight tale of woe with the project that really has my heart at the moment is that I can't get the damn yarn. As simple as that. I purchased the yarn from Lovecrafts. It is Paintbox DK. It's their Simply DK, which is 100% acrylic. And I went into this project knowing I wouldn't have enough yarn. I hold my hands up. I knew I was not going to have enough yarn for this project. But I thought it is Simply Crafts, one of Simply Craft's main yarns that they sell. So it would be really simple to get my hands on more balls of it. But I don't know what the rest of the country and everyone else that orders is like. I don't know what everyone else is working on. But two colours in particular have been so difficult to get my hands on for over the last month. So this one is Marine Blue, which is colour 133. This literally arrived Thursday or Friday. And I had the email notifications on for when they finally got this back in stock. And it was like, go, go, go. It was a flipping mission to get this. And of course they didn't have the yellow, which I need, which was Buttercup Yellow. And one of the girls that comes to the crafting group thought she had a ball of it. But it's a shame because she really went out of her way to get it for me. But what she had was the correct colour, but she had it in cotton DK and not the acrylic DK. So I need to get this back to her. And another one of the girls that attends the craft group found the ball of yarn on eBay. And it was £1.60 for a ball of yarn, which is great. But then it was like $3.95 for shipping. But that is fantastic pricing because all in all it came to like $5.70 or something like that. Whereas this ball of yarn direct from Lovecraft's website ended up costing me £7 and like 10 or something just for the yarn, which I ended up not getting on sale. So it was like £2.80 and then like £4.10 or something for shipping. So when I paid over £7 for this, I thought paying slightly over £5 for the yellow, no brainer. I done it. I'm just waiting on it arriving. Like I bought it last night, so I'm just waiting on it arriving because I got, where's the one I started here? I got that much of a square done before I ran out of yellow. And all I want to work on is this project. That's all I want to work on. And I can't. Because I am at the ends of yarn. This is all I have of the purple. I have more purple upstairs. Where's the other ends of yarn? Like, this is what I have of the green. I have way more red. And then that's what I have of the orange. So, like, I was really coming to the end of what I had. But I've got every other colour upstairs. I've got all the black I need to join everything together for the cuffs, the collar, you name it. That was what annoyed me the most, was that I literally ran out of the yellow and then I couldn't get the yellow. And the blue, for that matter. I couldn't get the blue either. But I now have the blue. I am now waiting on the yellow. And then I can finally get back to this project. Because it's so close to being, like, to getting me to the point where I can join it all up. And then it becomes a cardigan. But not close enough. So, because I couldn't work on that project and I really wanted crochet. That's the thing, I'm really in this crochet mood. That's not amigurumi, that's not, I don't want a pullover or a sweater, whatever you want to call them. I want a cardigan. And I want cozy, and I want baggy, and I just want crochet. I decided that I was, oh, of course I've stopped in the middle of a row. Of course I did. That is all down to my concentration levels, or lack thereof. I'll show you my lovely bag of yarn. Okay, so bit of a backstory for this project. I am attending a crafter's car boot sale. So picture a normal car boot sale, and it's all the stuff just that you have in your house that you no longer want. This crafter's car boot sale is selling supplies that you no longer want. So not finished items, just supplies. So I managed to bag a table, and I'm going to be bringing along yarn, crafting books, and spinning fibre. But when I was going through my stuff, like, I really loved these yarns when my mum gave me them. And I was just like, oh, they'll go to blankets, they'll go to blankets. But I don't know. There's just, when I couldn't work on that granny square blanket, I would just looked at these and I was just like, this would make a great project as a cardigan. And so I had a quick look through what was available on Ravelry, because I wanted something that was free. I wanted a free pattern. And I've always loved the hexagon. I check, but you are on my phone right now. I want to say like hexagon. I'm not good with shapes. And I have made a start. It's not quite my size yet. I think I calculated that I needed 8 more rows for it to be classed as my size, but I think the sleeve is big enough, so I'm trying to decide if I want baggy sleeves, or if I just want baggy body, or if I want baggy everything. So this is the first half, and then the second half is considerably smaller, and like I said, it's in the middle of a row. But this one is considerably smaller, so the pattern, like the designer does kind of want you to make them at the same point, but I got carried away. But yeah, like, I just think this is going to be absolutely stunning when it's done. And it's just, there's something about bright colours and then being able to put black into it as well to just kind of slightly tone it down. But yeah, I really, really love this. I just wish I had the ability to work on it, like concentration wise. So you can see all the colours. And then I'm trying to decide like which side, or even like I could just also then just pick different ways to fold it so that the colours just look a bit different as well. Try and get like the best colours that I would want. Cause I really love the blue here. I think that's one of the best colours in this one. So I really want like blue to be on the front. But then if I chose that as the front, I'm missing the opportunity to have the blue here and then here on the front. So I'm gonna have, it's gonna be a project where I'm gonna be like, how do I fold this? Like, what's the best colour section? But yeah, that's what I've been working on the last couple of days in place of the granny square option. And we'll see how I get on. With the bigger piece, this is how much of ball 1 I have left. But I have 2 balls of this. I have 4 balls in total of the colour. And then I've got 3 balls of black, which I'm not going to need. I'm not going to need all 3 balls of the black, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, because the cuffs, the bottom band, and then if I do like a front band, because I might want buttons. I think I want buttons. That will all be done in the black. But yeah, working on the second one, trying to get them up to the same size, and then I will move on to the second ball for each of those sizes. And I'm storing them in some really fun totes, Halloween totes, that I got at TK Maxx a couple of weeks ago. So I've got ones for bats. And then the overlay crochet that I showed you is on the palmistry bag. It had a... yeah, there we go. There's my pom-pom. Yeah. There's no other crafting. I've been getting the itch to do some cross stitch, but until I really kind of make some headway on some projects, I'm just going to let that one sit for a while. I haven't made any dents in any of my other projects, like my crochet blanket, which I really could just churn out a big amount of work and just have it done. But oh my goodness, it's been so warm recently. Until maybe the last 4 or 5 days, it's been too warm in Scotland. The temperature really took a nosedive yesterday, and it was very welcome. Like, we stepped foot outside of the gym yesterday, and oh, the breeze was just wonderful. So I'm hoping that in the coming weeks it will get nice and chilly. I shouldn't be happy about that, but I am, because it's been too hot, too hot. So once it's just a little bit cooler, I'll pull out the blanket, work on that. I really would love to get my carved pullover done for Halloween. My issue is I think it's now going to be too big on me. I've lost a bit of weight. Last time I weighed myself, I was close to the stone mark that I'd lost. So things are fitting a bit different than they used to. But hey ho, nothing wrong with an oversized jumper. So I'd love to get the carved pullover finished. It's just sleeves to get done on that. I've still got things to get blocked. I've still got my hooded shawl cardigan to get blocked. I've still got my dustling sweater to get blocked. Is there anything else I had to block? I haven't don't know where I put it. Don't know when the last time you guys saw the angel turban. No, that's not right. Is it the angel turban? I think it is, isn't it? Well, the main body of that's finished, and I've just got to do the ties. But I can't find the needles I made with it. I think, actually, the needles were used for this. And if I've put them back where I think I've put them, I will instantly put them next to the angel face turban. There we go. I'll put them next to the angel face turban so that I know where those needles are, because I was going to pick them up and I was going to start on the ties so that I could actually start wearing it. And then, like I say, I could not for the life of me find the needles. But I'm getting really good at that. I'm getting really good at putting something somewhere or doing something with it after I'm done with it and then not being able to find it. So yeah. We'll see how much I get done in the next couple of weeks. Once that yellow yarn's arrived, I think I will just solely focus on that cardigan project, because that's just what my heart wants. But we will see. Anything could happen. Who knows? But I know what's going to happen next. I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to go have something for my lunch, because my stomach is about to rumble and we ain't going to have that on this video. Oh, excuse me. Apparently you'll have me burp instead. So yeah, I'm going to go have some lunch. I'm probably going to open the window and listen to the rain, because that's the rain back on. But yeah, next time you see me, I might might have a bit more done, might not, we don't know, maybe next week, in which case I never normally get a lot done in a week. But doing little small segments is way more manageable than doing like bigger ones like this. Or like the last podcast I done, that was quite a long podcast. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having a lovely day and having the weather that you want, because I want chilly weather. I want wrap up, stay warm weather. I want work on blanket weather. But yeah, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.